So the next item on the agenda is to start thinking about who you want to be in your wedding party. Now heads up, this can get a little intense. For the most part, we all have friends who maybe aren't the most reliable at times. We'd love to have them be in your wedding party, but if you feel like there might be drama by including this person or that you can't rely on them to be present, you're better off leaving them out of the wedding party and instead just inviting them as a guest to the wedding. You're still going to be able to celebrate with them and have an amazing time. But this way, you won't be having a panic attack when you get a call the night before the rehearsal saying that they're not going to be able to make it. We see this happen all the time. If you've got a handful of close friends that you feel comfortable including in your special group, then that's plenty. Try to keep the bridal party for each side between 3 and 7 people. We recommend at least 3 people on each side in order to give the appropriate amount of walking time for your processional during the ceremony. If you just have 1 or 2 people in your bridal party, the processional song will only be playing for a few seconds before the song changes for the bride to walk down the aisle. If you have too many people, you have the opposite effect. The moment drags out, and in some cases, I see people having to use multiple songs. Obviously, this isn't the end of the world, just something to keep in mind. You also want to be aware that the more people you have in your bridal party means more time will be needed for your pictures after the ceremony, and maybe your schedule won't allow for this. That's also more money spent on favors, accessories, meals, and the bachelor or bachelorette party. So for that reason, we recommend you go with quality over quantity. Once you've narrowed down who will be in the select group, you're going to want to assign a maid or matron of honor and a best man. This part is normally pretty easy since this role usually goes to a close friend or sibling. But be sure to mention that with this role comes some responsibility that you will likely be leaning on them in certain areas like attending the dress or suit fittings, hosting or co-hosting the bridal shower, even helping planning the bachelor or bachelorette party, transporting the rings or the vows, lending a helping hand, or even holding a beer during the portrait session, and of course, giving a speech. In addition to these roles, the maid of honor and best man are oftentimes a point of contact in case of any emergencies, and should be expected to carry their phones on them. In the event, someone needs to get in touch with either the bride or groom, or to help coordinate to make sure neither of them cross each other's paths or see each other before they're supposed to. Having someone who is reliable and will be by the sides of each of them on their wedding day is very, very important. So make sure all your vendors have that person's contact information. Additionally, in a lot of cases, any rentals that were used for the wedding day are typically due to be returned the following day of that wedding. If they're not returned in time, most places may end up charging you a fee for each day the return is late, and that adds up. And I don't know about you, but if I was getting married the night before, I might want to sleep in after all that partying. Or, if you're like many people, you might have to catch a flight for your honeymoon that next morning. That's why it's a good idea to add return rentals to the list of responsibilities for the people who are in these roles. That way, everyone in the bridal party can just give their items to that one person at the end of the night, and they can handle returning everything the next day. Make no mistake, there's a lot of responsibility that comes with these roles, so make sure to communicate these requests up front when you're picking your maid of honor and best man. And cut them some slack in advance. Nobody wants to deal with the bride or groomzilla, and maybe using some of that extra budget we set aside before, it might be a good idea to buy them some coffee or breakfast or something. Lastly, I know a lot of people struggle with the idea of being put on the spot and having to give a speech during the wedding. We've all been there. So we're going to cover the topic of speech giving in a later video. We'll go over some general rules or tips to keep in mind and also give a few great examples for some inspiration. That way, at least you have the option of sharing those with anyone who might be anxious. We're also going to be doing a similar video covering tips for those who might be officiating because, well, that can be overwhelming too. That's it for this video. If you have any questions, please let us know.
Thanks for watching, you guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget that you can subscribe to our channel right here, and we will see you in the next video.